Well, good evening. It's Wednesday, the 26th of November. Usual day for me, very productive day. Up at 5:30. I was on the road running by about 6:45. Very cold here again, and lots of ice, so I couldn't really run yesterday. So I did a slightly different route today. The area I live in is built around an old airfield, so it's got a long runway. It's about 400 meters, so it's perfect just to do up and down. So I did a few circuits. So I jogged 400 meters, then around about 3:45, 3:30 kilometer pace for the next 400 meters, and back and forth like that. Did that about 10 times just to get in a 5k. Felt invigorated by the end of it, and every 400 meters as my body was warming up, I was getting quicker and quicker. So still way off my speeds when I was at my peak, but that's simply because I've not been doing fast running. So I'm going to start putting that in my training regime because I really enjoyed it this morning. And it was just, I think it was even more invigorating because the scenery was beautiful. So I took some photos, put that on my Strava. So again, if you want to follow me on Strava, it's Mark Roderick, Roderick. I was reflecting this morning as well. I mentioned this very briefly, that I very rarely get sick. I've had a few bouts of food poisoning simply because it was aeroplane food. The last two times I've got food poisoning, and about 4 years apart, and had it about a year ago, which it knocked me out for about 3-4 days. Normally I run every day, but I just couldn't. In fact, normally I do on average about 19,000 steps, and for those 4 days I think I probably did about 2,000 steps over 4 days. So for me, it really wiped me out. But outside of that, I don't get sick. If people around me get a cold, I may get a sniffle for half a day, but not to the point where I can't go out. I get an occasional cough, but it really only kicks in, my cough, at the end of a run. I think that's when I've expanded my lungs and then they contract. Other than that, I rarely get sick, and it's been like that now for maybe 15, 20 years. And I was trying to think, why is that? I don't follow an incredible diet. In fact, my diet sometimes can be quite poor. I'm trying to improve it. I'll eat chocolate every day. I'll eat some sweets. I'll drink sugary drinks, normally diet drinks, but I'll eat fizzy drinks. I think the reason I don't get sick, and I know this is going to sound really odd, I listened to Napoleon Hill years and years ago, or maybe read his book, and there was a statement in there saying, I don't have time to be sick. And so I've always said to myself, I don't have time to be sick, and therefore, maybe, I just don't get sick. I think telling yourself you've got a good immune system, telling yourself you don't get sick, exercising, not doing anything to excess. I don't get a lot of sleep, maybe 5-6 hours a night. So, but I think just by getting up, having a shower, having a shave, telling myself I tell other people as well, I don't have time to get sick and never get sick. I think those things combined, there must be some mental reason or affirmation that I'm doing to myself that manifests itself in me not getting sick. So maybe for anyone listening, if you want to stop getting sick, and maybe this is just simplifying things far too much, because I know people, of course, do get sick who don't even think about being sick and get a terrible illness, but maybe part of it is just telling yourself you don't get sick, and maybe the placebo effect is part of the reason. There must be other people out there like me who rarely get sick. I mean, for the last 3 weeks, my son and wife have been very ill, coughing, spluttering, very bad colds. And I'm sat there thinking, this is terrible having to see them go through this, knowing that I'm not going to get it. Maybe that's it. I'm sure there are more hints, tips, but I don't follow any particular diet. I do eat a lot of pomegranates. I do have fresh orange. I do have the occasional banana, but I'm not one of these 5 a day. I don't have any vitamin pills. I don't drink litres of water or anything like that. I should drink more water. But no, I think the main reason, other than maybe I'm a bit hardy, is I tell myself I don't get sick. And as a result, I don't get sick. So, tell me what your thoughts are. And I hope you don't get sick either. Speak soon.